The party was alive with music, laughter, and the constant clinking of glasses. I lingered at the edge of the crowd, forcing a smile, but feeling disconnected in a way I hadn't before. Claire, my wife, moved through the room effortlessly, her laughter warm and attention-catching, hands brushing shoulders, exchanging smiles that seemed a little too bright. I told myself I was imagining things, yet the tightening knot in my chest told a different story. When she finally returned to me, cheeks flushed from champagne and conversation, she leaned in, her familiar perfume suddenly oppressive. Her lips tilted toward mine, but for the first time in our marriage I recoiled. "Not tonight," I said, my voice calm but firm enough to freeze the smile midair. Claire's eyes widened, disbelief flashing across her face. She wasn't accustomed to being denied, especially not by me. Her gaze searched mine like I had become a stranger in the clothes of her husband. She pulled back, smoothed her dress, and let out a laugh that felt forced, as though she was covering for some unseen embarrassment. I hadn't moved, hadn't joked. For months, maybe even years, I'd been shrinking into the background. Every party, every dinner, every casual gathering had become a stage for Claire, while I quietly applauded from the wings. It wasn't the attention she received that hurt, it was the cold indifference she brought home. Behind closed doors, warmth had been replaced by silence, conversations had shrunk to single words, and intimacy had become something mechanical, scheduled, obligatory. I stayed, convincing myself it was a temporary phase, work stress, fatigue, something that would pass. But the patterns became undeniable. The lingering looks she gave certain men she claimed were only colleagues, the late-night texts she shielded from view, the subtle physical distance she maintained in public, as if acknowledging me was optional. That night, something inside me shifted, not anger but clarity. Pulling back wasn't a punishment, it was reclaiming a piece of myself. Claire tried to gloss over the tension by drawing me into conversation with her friends. They laughed, sipping their drinks while I nodded absent-mindedly, my mind detached. She brushed my arm lightly but I did not respond. The pull I once felt toward her was gone. Later at home, the silence between us was deafening. She tossed her purse on the counter. "What was that back there?" she asked, irritation edging her tone. "You tell me," I said, steady, meeting her eyes. For the first time, her confidence faltered, like she had lost the script she always carried. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I just waited, and in that waiting the truth surfaced. Not through words but in the hesitation between us. Claire crossed her arms, leaning against the kitchen island as if bracing for a fight. "You embarrassed me tonight," she said flatly. I almost laughed. That was her takeaway? Not the quiet rejection, not the months of neglect, not the hollow space growing between us, just that her audience might have noticed imperfection. "Embarrassment isn't the issue, Claire," I said calmly. "It's everything else. You're being dramatic. You're tired, that's all," she deflected. But I no longer followed her lead. "Do you even see me anymore?" I asked firmer now. "Outside the parties, outside the photos, when it's just us, do you see me?" Her silence answered more than words could. For years I'd bent, adjusted, made excuses. That night I stopped. She sighed, the polished exterior slipping. "What do you want me to say, Michael? That things have been different?" "Fine, they have. But couples go through rough patches." "Rough patch," I repeated inwardly, recalling every unanswered message, every dismissive shrug, every time she turned away when I reached out. "It means something," I said. "It means I've been waiting for you to choose me and you haven't." Her jaw tightened, guilt flickering then retreating. "You're imagining things?" she murmured, lacking conviction. "No, Claire. I see it clearly now." The silence stretched. I thought she might confess, admit to someone else filling the space I'd been denied, but she didn't. She turned away, busying herself with meaningless tasks, and in that avoidance I found my answer. I didn't sleep beside her that night. I lay awake in the guest room, feeling hollow yet free. The betrayal wasn't a single lie or secret kiss. It was years of absence, years of choosing everything else over the life we were meant to share. By morning, I knew what needed to happen. When she came downstairs, hair tied back, phone in hand, I didn't greet her. I said simply, "Claire, this isn't working anymore." Her eyes widened. "You can't be serious." "I've never been more serious," I replied. "Last night wasn't punishment, it was revelation." She opened her mouth but no excuse came, because deep down she knew I was right. And in that quiet, I understood the full weight of betrayal, not hers alone but mine too for staying silent so long. Walking out that day I didn't feel anger. I felt clarity. Sometimes betrayal doesn't arrive with drama or scandal. Sometimes it is quiet, slow, invisible, and finally, in the midst of loud music and laughter, you realize it's time to step away.